All right, we're live. GMGAG, everybody. Welcome to what's going to be another great DevNTell. So if you didn't know, DevNTell is a 30-minute window for builders to showcase something they're passionate about or have been working on in Web3. This could be an awesome project you've been working on, demonstrating you testing best practices, automation goodies, smart contract, how to structure a project, etc. Basically, if you've got a passion for something, this is your opportunity to share it with the community. And today I'm ecstatic to have on Tippy and Tim, who are going to be giving us a overview of Ceptor Club, among other awesome little tidbits about how to be a awesome developer. Welcome, boys. Happy to have you on. Would you like to give a brief introduction about yourselves before we get into the meat of the presentation?
Sure. I'll start it off. I'm Tippy. Everybody can hear me. Say hi in the chat. Um, I'm Tippy 5-star. I've been a member of Developer DAO for about a year, I would say. And I got in because a friend of mine who I did a hackathon with like 2+ years ago was having a baby. Mach Zero, if you're out there, thank you again. He was like, I don't have time for this stuff. Like, take my NFT. And he just sent me his NFT. And since I joined, I started volunteering at the mentorship team, and it's been really fulfilling. And I met awesome people. I'm going to see Billy Jitsu live next week at ETH Chicago, which I'm helping volunteer build the hackathon and doing a workshop and everything. But through that connection is how I met Tim. And maybe, Tim, you want to say a couple words?
Sure, yeah. My name's Tim. I met Tippy and joined up and been doing a lot of work with the Ceptor Club and everything like that. Having a great time. So yeah, I'm here to contribute and see who else wants to contribute as well.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm really intrigued to hear what you guys have been doing with Scepter Club and kind of how all this kind of came together. So, in the interest of time, let's get right into the meat of the content. If you don't mind.
Oh, yeah. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Of course, yes. Please
I
do.
don't know. All right, here we go. Share screen. It's easier with two monitors. Yes, that is true.
Yes.
I've got two monitors. Can you all see the beautiful slide deck?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so first of all, I guess I didn't say this, but I am really excited to be here. Ceptor Club is something that started in a hackathon basically 10 months ago. It was like Chainlink Fall 2022, and I wasn't going to do a hackathon. I have a bit of a hackathon addiction problem, and I'm in recovery. But this idea came about, and you'll hear the story of how it came about in a bit. And it's been an incredible amount of time. I've onboarded about 20 contributors so far. We've got a sign up sheet that has like 60 something people signed up. So that ratio of like about 80% of the people that sign up don't make it all the way in. So just things happen, right? So I'm hoping tonight or today we get more awesome developer DAO people, and anybody who's watching, strap in. Here we go. So who are we? Like, who is? Well, I'm Tippy. That's Tim. There are a lot more of us that are not here today, so I'm trying to speak for us. But in a few words, just Scepter Club is a club. It's a community, and we're about art, tech, and games. So here's the slide, right? How many words is a picture worth? Go ahead and write in the chat your answer. But our answer is that it could be a lot of words. If you could see this sheet, it's filled with words. What this is a character sheet in the game Dungeons and Dragons. And when you're starting a new game, you make this thing. It's kind of like the resume for your character. And it does not have any pictures on it. But we figured out a way to make pictures fast and get you playing your games faster, better, more inclusive, more accessible. So that's a little bit about who we are, and I'll go into detail later. But for the people watching, and Narb, this is for you as well, and Tim, who are you? I want to know who's watching. So share, where you're based and which of these words, like art, tech, games, got you into, are you into? Like, what about you, Tim?
Yeah, I'm really interested in tech and games. I'm not that big of an artist. I was never really good at it, but I know there's a lot of people out there that are very good at it. I'm based in Chicago. I've done a lot of different things with my own projects and side projects, and getting involved with the Sceptor Club. I really kind of like honing my skills is on the tech aspect of everything, and then also getting involved with the games aspect as well.
Nice. Narb, drop in the chat if you can as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks. And yeah, let's see some GMs out there. So what are you going to learn in this talk? Well, I'm going to tell stories, and through the stories, I hope you can get a sense of what we're about. But also, the key learning objectives is we're going to learn about building. But because my unique role here in the team is that I've been here the whole time and I've helped build the community and onboard all these contributors and get ready for a career that I want. I'm going to share these 3 points. Like, how do you, if you just did a hackathon, for example, how do you keep your project alive? Like, maybe you all can't quit your jobs, and maybe you don't have a job. Maybe you have to spend your time doing other things. How can you grow a community of contributors? And then within that, how can you volunteer? How can you join a volunteer community like Ceptor Club? How could you join a different ours? Actually, like, I'll share how you actually could join ours and how easy we've made it. And if you are building your own, you can copy our, it's open source like procedures. And then the last thing I hope is, if we have time, I'll share some tips about how you can grow your career. And like, hint, one of the ways is join our team. So what are we building at Ceptor Club? I made it seem really simple, but it's actually there's a lot going on. There's a lot of complexity here. So who here has played D&D? If you played D&D before, write that you have, and like share your experience of it. Like, was it fun? Is it hard to play? Is it easy? Is it complex? But Narb, Tim, what about you? Have you played before?
I haven't actually, no, but I've always had it on my bucket list to eventually play.
What are some of the reasons you maybe haven't played?
I think just because it takes so long to play that I've kind of been scared away from it. But yeah, it's always been. I'm really into that action fantasy RPG kind of vibe, and a lot of the great video games that have come out have been inspired by D&D. So I think it's just I have to do it once at least.
For sure. Tim, what about you?
I have not, and the reason why is because I am into video games, and I enjoy playing a lot of different video games, and I just don't know if there was a way that I can get involved that it would allow me to kind of be like on the digital end of things, because Dungeons and Dragons is very personal get together where you sit around and I have a gist of like what goes on in the game, but I have no idea how to play it. And I was always looking for something that was kind of like, how can I be a part of it digitally, and maybe there's like another aspect of it that I can get involved with. So I've been meaning to play and getting involved, but just haven't found the right group of people just
Well,
yet.
you have now. So yeah, thank you so much for that. My background is I tried playing it in a high school, once at a camp, a nerdy computer camp, and we only got so far as like building our characters. It just took so long to build the characters. I never even got to play as that character. And then many years later, I was an expat in China, and I had a community of friends, and we started playing together, and it was so good to just like be a nerd with your friends and order pizza or whatever. And then many years later, during COVID, playing online D&D with my friends was like the social outlet I had as I was teaching myself coding and all this stuff. So yeah, just for people out there who've never played or haven't even heard of it, don't Google it now. You know, like there's a cool movie you could watch that just came out recently. Don't watch the old ones; they're bad. But yeah, so just stay with me for a second. So D&D is a ttrpg, and that means a tabletop role-playing game. And as Narb was saying, like usually you sit around the table with your friends and play it. But we're here in the future, and we've got StreamYard and all this stuff, so you can be in a virtual room with your friends. But you know what it really is about is stories and telling stories together, and then how the emergent storytelling occurs, where all these different people that your friends are playing roles, and those roles are different than they are, but they're bringing themselves and their role into the story. So you never know what's going to happen. One of the things it does is it unites people's talents. You want to have a diverse group of people in your party, we call it. Just like in a tech company, you want to have a diverse group of builders. So, for example, like art. Let's take like a band. Bands have roles in the band. Someone's the drummer, someone's the guitarist. Tech companies, you've got people working on front end, back end. Even if you're like a hotshot super dev, you're wearing a different hat. Like you're thinking in terms of design, you're thinking in terms of product, you're thinking in terms of the code. Is it usable? Is it valuable? Is it feasible? Can you even get the idea to work? Build a prototype. In games, you know, obviously in D&D you have archetypes such as like archer and you know, a warrior fighter or a wizard, and each of those archetype characters brings a different thing to the table. And Tim, you get some games. Like, could you share a little, like from a different game perspective? I think you said you play first person shooters. Like, is a diverse team important for that too?
Yeah, I've played. I've been into Overwatch. It's one of my biggest games. It's a team-based shooter game, so it does have like classes of different heroes. So there's an aspect of being able to really work together with different classes and you know, play your role the way that it's designed to be played. So it does require a lot of collaboration and team effort.
Totally. Yeah, it's kind of universal stuff. So for me, it's all about the characters. And we are a group of characters. All of us are different. We've got a lot of developer DAO people. Sorry, D&D DD. It's just too good. This is like perfect. So you know, if you're out watching there and you play D&D, we just like don't even hesitate and hit us up. But Tim hopefully will be joining Developer DAO soon. He's been looking into how to get in. If any of you have code tokens, send it to Tim, and he'll like, what will you do for them? Sing them a song?
Oh, I'm not a good singer, but definitely I'll collaborate and you know, work on a project together.
Yeah, let's be friends. So we don't have time for me to like go into everybody. It's just too much. When I was preparing for this talk, Jason, one of the co-founders who's been there since the beginning, was like, look, man, you got to keep it simple, keep it moving, stay focused. And so we had to cut some stuff out. But let's talk about art and the original idea for Ceptor Club. These are drawn. This guy on the right is Dusty Delan, the elven archer multi-class character that I played with my friends over COVID for a year. And this is Pashad, the orc monk who is covered in tattoos and doesn't say very much, played by my friend Risto. And we want to use this art to help your game playing experience be better, faster, more fun, because when he drew this for us after like a year of playing, that feeling was incredible. And he gave me a sticker and I stuck that right on my computer. I'm not going to bring it over to break everything. But yeah, that feeling, I was like, how can we give this to people? Well, you can hire him to give you a tattoo or draw for you for $50. This is him. Yes, literally last night, I was preparing this and he was multitasking while tattooing. And then eventually he was like, get out of here, go home. So yeah, he could draw it for you for $50, but it'll take a week. And the idea clicked. Well, what if we could build something that uses this new emergent technology of AI to replace the way people have been getting their own character art, which is what I did when I played, which is I went on Google and typed in elf archer, and then I clicked through the pictures, stole someone's picture, put it in my Roll20, and I was ready to go. Well, we figured out in a first hackathon that we could make a picture in like 7 seconds and it could be exactly what you wanted. And in our second hackathon, we kind of took it even further. We won little prizes at both of those. And if I have time to tell the whole story, we can go end to end. But yeah, what we're here as like a place to make the art, right? And not just the art. We're trying to use tech as well, but we're staying focused, and it's for the gamers, it's for the artists themselves, and it's for the developers like Tim, who's like, I'm not an artist, but if you give me a cool picture, I will use it. So just to show some of the arts that human people have drawn for us, this is Wee's drawing some sketches that he did. This is a Dragonborn character sheet, another Dragonborn. This is my character, Zed, the Star Druid, Aarakocra. Clayton drew a badass. There's Zed again. Level 2 Zed did not have the star form yet, so or color. Risto drew this one of Somya's Dragonborn cleric. Ledinith, this is Rara, the elven archer. We've like started putting some of our stuff onto Threadless. So if you want to Google Ceptor Club, you can go to the Threadless and buy a shirt. But yeah, in the tech sense, we have hit some problems with it. Like obviously AI cannot totally replace artists, and that's great. It can't iterate. It can't make a sketch and then talk to you and understand what you want and then develop it. It can't add a sword or a star form like Zed got as he developed. It can't like go to sleep, right? It's always on. Like it costs us $5, so we had to stop running our GPU all the time. We've got a mission that we sort of aligned on. I think we've talked about this enough, so I'll just keep on going. And I'm just going to hit our central calls to action right now. So where we're at now is we are like looking for more artists to join us. There are reasons you should, other than you think this is cool. Ideally, when we're done building the artist feature, this will be a way to use blockchain and AI to get passive income, co-own the model, work directly with our AI developers. When you give the thumbs up and we give the thumbs up, this is good enough, then we can put it into production. You can use this as a way to get commission. So like when Tim is making a character sheet and uses the AI to draw it in the style of Narb, then he a year later may book you to draw it, and you can just get paid directly to do it. For techies out there, and I know most of you out there probably are developers, and if you're a dev, we need help with our back end optimizing the AI. We need, like, we're all volunteers. So like Somia gets a full-time job at Goldman Sachs. She's got 13 hours a day that she's spending at work. She can't help out anymore. So maybe next year she'll have more bandwidth. But for now, someone else has to step in and help out with that. So back-end devs, front-end devs, Tim worked on the tooltips. Tim, could you talk a little bit about like what enticed you or what was beneficial about contributing as a tech person?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been getting involved with, full stack development for the last 2 years. So it's a little bit new to me. And, being involved with this was able to, get me in an environment where other people were, writing code, writing code that they, are used to writing, and then me understanding how they're writing that code. So, contributing a little bit here and there, and then being involved with, just other developers and kind of figuring out how they think and, why they're doing certain things with their code, just kind of like opens up my mind a little bit more to learn, just to continue to learning. And that's one of the base aspects that I'm really enjoying.
For sure. Yeah. And building your portfolio up, proving your LinkedIn. Once you're like a core contributor in there, you can add it to your LinkedIn. And we're verifying. This is a way of like, I'm not just going to let someone asked me the other day, and she had never come to the meeting. She came to one meeting, then disappeared for 2 months. And she said, can I add it to my LinkedIn? And I'm like, no, you can't add it to your LinkedIn. Like, you got to do your first mission. And so when we talk about onboarding and how that community growth works, you'll see the actual details. And lastly, games. This is sort of where we're growing right now, is we want to add games to our app. Some ideas that we've like workshopped is like animal companions, like a pet game or something to have your wolf grow up or whatever. Maps and dungeons. This map on the right, Risto drew a couple days ago, as like, maybe there's a way to take your D&D character, the sheet, when you're not playing with your friends, play this game 1-to-1, asynchronous, multiplayer. Maybe it's like a MOBA, maybe it's a top-down strategy. Any of these things are stuff we would love to experiment with, just as a way to use games to add more fun, add more engagement within our community and within like your game. So yeah, join us, like, shape the future together. Narb, I better see you signing up. I want to see you in there, because then we could play once. Like, we have a budget to hire game masters to run the games for us, using our app, using AI if possible, to speed things up and like learn, like, for your first time playing, where did Narb get stuck? And you're going to have insights that's why like this decentralization is amazing, because you get someone who's super experienced and you get someone who's not experienced, and they all can bring something to the table. And so please join us. These are like the three big things we're about, is, and that in how they relate to each other, art, tech, and games. So let me just dive, like, I know you're all like, what have you built? So we've got what we're calling the Beholder, which is, if you've made this D&D character sheet with like fast character, that's what it works best now. Our OCR scans it, takes the important information, and can make a picture. We can pass that information into this drop-down menu thing where you could also type in your own answers. I'll share if we have time, I'll actually share the live prototype, although the GPU is off. The creator like is made all these we focused on Dragonborns at first because we discovered that like AI can make a picture of a human warrior fine, but it couldn't make a cool Dragonborn. So we trained it, and that's where we were like, oh, we need to work with the artists so that it's trained in their style and what we want to make, like a dragonborn wizard or whatever, so it looks good, and then the artists get that ownership and that passive income. These are some things that we've made over the time. This is something we're working on. So if you're a front end developer, come and help us like implement this prompt smith. We have an editable thing, but like if you've ever used the AIs, you know that like there's these settings, and if you're good at that, giving the user access to it could be worth more. We've got this NFT minter and have minted a bunch on some test nets. We're not ready for a main net. And basically the way that we decide when we're ready is we, the community of contributors, will decide, we'll know like this is ready for beta. Let's get it out there. We're working on this dice minter thing. We're working on player profiles, artist profiles. But yeah, like how the lessons, right? Like how did we do this? So I know this is like text and small text and whatever, but it's a simple the point is that it's not that complicated. Step 0 is like fill out that form. You're now a level 0 in the game of Ceptor Club, our club. You'll get the Discord invite. You can come in and you can see, you verify, right? And you can see the general chat. And I could probably share my screen real quick. I am in Discord sharing my screen. The general chat, right? Like you get access to everyone, you get access to our like threads. We have feature threads for people that are working on their first mission. We have secret thing for the Chainlink people who are working on our hackathons. And then if you're like a holder of Ceptor Club, there's a secret thing for you. And then there's the core team channels, which you sort of have to prove that you are able to do what you said you would do. It's not a big ask, but you got to prove that to get access to the thing. So basically it's step 0, fill out the form. Step 1, I send you an email that I handwrite and you fill it out. Like there's like a let us meet. You say when you're free. We pick a time that's good for the most people. Come to the meeting. We do a scrum. That's how onboarding works. It's just a scrum. If you don't know what scrum is, Google that. But basically, what have you been working on? Where are you stuck? And what's next? What have you been working on? You're new. You haven't done any Ceptor Club stuff. So tell us about yourself. Like, what have you been working on? And then where you're stuck, you're looking for a job. You just want to play D&D, whatever. It's completely infinite what you could say there. And then what's next? We work together and you decide what you want to commit to your first mission. And when you do that first mission, boom, you're in, you're leveled up. You make a character sheet. We will draw your picture, and you're in. And now you can help make decisions. You can represent us better. All of you can follow us on Twitter at Ceptor Club at Twitter. How to contribute. It's a little bit complicated because it's a decentralized team. But Tim, could you just share like a short version of how to contribute?
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, mine was I decided to get involved with, the front end website and make a few changes that would enhance, the UI to explain like, these, to be showing it right now, but these tooltips kind of like, make it a little bit more user friendly. So that's one of the ways that I contributed, but there's many different ways that you can contribute if you have any sort of idea. You can always, within Discord, start like bouncing that idea off other people, see who's involved with that particular feature. If it's a feature with front end or back end, or even, it could be art in and of itself, like Tippy was just saying, but that's one of the ways you can contribute.
Yeah, account abstraction. You've been meaning to learn how to do account abstraction? Well, we have like a Dice Connect and all this stuff, and it's normal Web 2 people definitely cannot participate, and we put a wall up. But we're kind of building for ourselves right now. But at a certain point, dang, that would be nice, right? And you can see some of the stuff that has been minted. Like this is the one that we, oh, by the way, if you guess, who knows what this artist style is that we used here? Write in the chat if you can figure out what the prompt was for that one. Where is it? Oh, Tim, do you know? Narb, do you know?
Not off the top of my head.
No. Granted, I need to work
anybody?
on my prompt engineering. Yes.
Look at this one. Like what?
Yeah.
What artists? In anybody in the chat? I'll tell you guys in 3. I'll give you a hint. It starts with the letter M. An impressionist painter.
Anybody in the
Monet.
chat?
Monet.
Ah, Monet.
Yeah. Rick and Morty is another possible option. But yeah, anyways, that's that. Let me get back. We're at time basically. But yeah, you just working in public, right, Tim? That was something that we kept on going back to. Like, don't just work on your feature privately and then DM me, post, hey, I'm working on this. Does anybody have any feedback? And the last thing is this 3-step formula. If you want to level up, have a personal project where you don't depend on anybody. Like, you got to have that. Paul, you look up Paul Graham's Project of One's Own if you want to read an article by a famous guy. Team project, you have to understand, like, teamwork makes the dream work. Like, you have to be able to contribute with other people and like do the things you say and then that process. And when you're in a volunteer friendly community like ours, we're nice. Like, if you're making mistakes, one of us will like DM you or point you in the right direction. If you're open-minded to learning and growing, this is a great community for you. But you should, even if this isn't the right community for you, go find one and contribute. Developer DAO has a ton of projects. Start contributing to Developer DAO. And then obviously the last thing, and these percentages are up to you, but I let you imagine, like, what if you didn't do any study and you only did these 2? Is the alternate version of you who spends a little bit of those times learning new things, who's going to grow faster? What if you only are studying and don't have a team project and don't have a personal project? Are you going to grow faster than someone who's doing all 3? Obviously not, right? Like, there's no way. It's the synergy of like leveling up yourself, leveling up how you work with others, and growing, being interested and curious. But yeah, so that's it. Like, the question for everybody is, did you learn something? Did you learn about how to build it, how we built the community, how we built this app together? Did you learn about how to contribute? Hopefully you know that you should join that sign up sheet and come to our onboarding meeting. And I don't know, was this helpful about the like career pie chart? Was that helpful? Let me know.
Again, and best way to let them know would either be reaching out over Twitter, joining Ceptor Club, coming in the Discord, joining all the action, or coming and pinging Tippy in Developer DAO, as he's very, very open to discussing things and a great contributor there as well. But unfortunately, we are at time here. But Tim, Tippy, thank you so much for coming on. Really, really appreciate you guys taking the time to come on. And yeah, Ceptor Club looks very interesting and a promising project that we'll be looking out for. But before everybody leaves, I want to share the QR code for coming on as a attendee today on Developer DAO. So if you go and scan that code with the regular QR code scanner, you'll be presented with a form to fill out. And once you fill out that form, you will be dropped a NFT for being an attendee today over the next few days. So Tim and Tippy, you're free to fill this out, but I have another form for you that'll get you a special build NFT for being presenters here today. But
nice.
attendees, you have an hour and a half to fill this out before the form closes. And yeah, with that, I just want to wish everybody a very happy Friday, happy weekend, and then we'll see you back here next week.
Thanks,
All right,
Don.
gang.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.
All right.
Bye bye.
See you, gang. Bye.